minds.
Started.
There's a world mysterious, something to find. You know the song? Oh, these questions. You guys got to watch that cartoon called Smallfoot, man. Crystal and I were talking about that this morning. That cartoon has such depth and meaning. It's so beautiful. Anyway, was thinking, was in yoga with Lily this morning and started crying as I do lately. Just thinking about how other people are feeling. Thinking about, how people feel insecure and how people feel powerless. Thinking about how people, they're doubting themselves and there's not enough to go around. There's not enough money. There's not enough love. There's not enough trust. And all these feelings that go through us. Yeah. Anyway, and then I had another thought, which was, how often do we think of how other people are feeling? Like, we're so preoccupied with how we're feeling. We're so preoccupied with what we need to do, what we want to do. Do we ever, how often do we stop and think of one individual and just literally, marinate on how is that person feeling in this moment? One of the cool things about what I've done for a living is that timing out because I'm going through a bad area now. One of the things that's cool about the industry that I ended up in, I kind of chose me. I didn't choose it, but the industry, they do promote a lot of personal development. It's all geared towards bettering yourself and becoming more, adult education, ongoing, self-mastery. And Crystal, wow, she is amazing at all this stuff. I am unaware of anyone, and I know a lot of people and a lot of powerful people, and I don't know anyone that devotes themselves more to education than my wife around becoming better. But I remember I went to this personal development thing, and to be brutally honest, a lot of it was BS. And it was a 3-day thing in San Francisco, and a lot of it was BS. But I did take a handful of things away from it. One of the things that really, really stuck out to me was I was standing up on this platform, and I remember the instructor, I was standing on the platform, and then all you're supposed to do is just fall backwards, and you fall into this net, and it's a trust fall. But before you fall, you're supposed to think of all the things that you try to control in your life. And I remember I was just going through the motions, and then this very wise instructor got a hold of me. He was standing on the platform with me, and he noticed I was probably 24 years old. I was just going through the motions, very reactive. And I remember he whispered to me, and he said, hey, it's hard, isn't it? I said, what? He said, it's hard to be you, isn't it? And then, your knee-jerk reaction, is defense, no, it's not hard to be me. I'm lucky, I'm lucky I am me. I got my stuff together. And then he said, it's Tony. He said, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to, people expect you to be successful, don't they? It's hard to be the strong one, isn't it? And it's hard to show up all the time, isn't it? And it's hard to always feel like you've got to come through and perform. And he said, it's a lot of pressure, isn't it? And when he said all of that, I just remember
Trying to reconnect.
Yeah, just give it a sec.
It's working.
I just remember breaking down in tears. because I thought, oh my God, like I didn't realize like I really do try to put off this persona like I've got my stuff together, you know, and like I'm successful and like I'm a good father, I'm a good husband, I'm a good, you know, and I just remember like falling apart, like, God, I hate all that pressure. It's so hard. There was another moment, last thing I'll share, when we went through this obstacle course. And I remember towards the end of the obstacle course, I remember we had to climb this massive wall, okay? Just this ginormous wall. And the only way you could get up the wall is if you like stood on top of your fellow people. And I think there was something like 69 of us there. And you had to like climb each other like ants, like a ladder. And I remember I was one of the first people to get up that wall. And then you had to reach down. The only way people could get up is if people on top were reaching down and grabbing. You know, some of these people were older, some of these people were, you know, not physically fit, and so we'd reach down and we'd literally pull them up. And I remember getting up there, and I remember that the next person up was this new friend of mine, Michael. And I remember I just saw in Michael how meaningful this was. I mean, it meant everything to Michael to get up on that wall and to help other people up. And I remember like we were helping people up, and then I noticed like, whoa, Michael is this, Michael needs this. This is so important to him. And I just left. I just got down and got off. Tony baby! And then what happened is I walked off. I just stood off in the distance and I watched Michael. And there's Michael. He's this, you know, stocky dude. And like he helped every single person up this wall. Like every. And I remember this other instructor came up and stood next to me. And this was the other really meaningful thing that happened for me this day. And he said to me, he goes, "You don't have to be the hero, do ya?" And then I thought, like my whole life I was always like, it had to be like me, you know what I mean? Like I had to be the athlete, and I had to be the popular guy, and I had to be, you know, the performer, and then it was just like the most incredible thing to live through Michael and to let him have that, and to just say like, I've had enough. Like I've had enough in my life. I've had enough attention. I've had enough success. I've had enough trophies. I've had enough acknowledgement and praise and love. I've had a good life. And it was so meaningful to Michael. Oh my God, you should have seen him. He was just like glowing, and everyone was rallying around Michael. If you see this, Michael, man, I love you. But perspective around things is really important, and I think we need to look outward more and consider how people are feeling. One of the things I've noticed since I got my diet under control and I'm less inflammatory, I'm not eating all the stuff that was causing inflammatory response, is I noticed I'm feeling more, and I'm seeing things clearly more and feeling my heart more. And it's making me feel for other people more, which has been an incredible thing for me. I'm not concerned with myself. I'm concerned with other people more, and I want them to feel this way. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Get out in nature and have some fun and reconnect and center and ground and all that good stuff with your loved ones. All right, bye-bye.